In 700 BC, the first Vietnamese country was born, called Van Lang. The country's name is later changed to Lac Viet. After some time, there was another country born, called O Viet. In 218 BC, the Qin, a Chinese country back then, called Qin, tried to invade O Viet and Lac Viet but failed. After the war, O Viet and Lac Viet decided to combine into O Lac to defend the Chinese. In 179 BC, Chinese country Nanyue tried to invade O Lac, and won. It was the beginning of 1,000 years of Chinese occupation in Vietnam, from 179 BC to 938. Which led to lots of Vietnamese uprisings. The Hai Ba Trung uprising in year 40. Ba Tru uprising in year 248. Lai Bai uprising in year 542. Tru Quang Phuc uprising in year 550. Mai Thuc Loan uprising in year 722. Feng Hung uprising in year 776. Kuk Thua Du uprising in year 905. Duong Din Nay uprising in year 931. The final uprising which finally led to Vietnam's independence was Bac Dang uprising in 938, led by Ngo Quyen. Co Loa is chosen to be the capital in the Ngo era. In 944, Ngo Quyen died. The country was split into 12 different kingdoms. Both 12 kingdoms had conflicts for the throne. The conflict went on until 968 when Din Bo Lin led the country to unite all 12 kingdoms. After the unification, Din Bo Lin, was now known as Din Tien Hoang, became the king, naming the country Dai Co Viet, moving the capital to Hoa Lu, which is now Ninh Binh. In 979, Din Tien Hoang and his son was assassinated. The song, China used this as a good chance to invade Dai Co Viet. Le Hone was invited to be the new king of Dai Co Viet. He led the country to successfully defended Song's invasion in 981. The Lai era went from year 981 to 1009. After that, Lai Taita became the new king, starting the Lai era. He moved the capital to Dai La, renaming it Thang Long. He also changed the country's name to Dai Viet. In 1075, the Song invaded Dai Viet again. It took 2 years for Dai Viet to successfully fend off the Song. In 1226, the Lai era ended, began the Tran era. In 1248, the king commanded the entire country to start building dams for the agriculture. In 1258, the Mongol Empire invaded Dai Viet the first time, but they failed. In 1285, they tried to invade Dai Viet the second time, but they also failed. In 1287, they tried to invade Dai Viet for the third time, and also failed. After 3 failures, they decided to give up on invading Dai Viet. In 1400, the Tran era ended, starting the Ho era. The king Ho Kwai Lai moved the capital to Tay Du, Than Hoa. He also changed the country's name to Dai Ngu. In 1406, the Ming, China invaded Dai Ngu successfully. In 1428, Le Loi successfully led Dai Ngu to independence from the Ming, beginning the Howler era. The capital is again moved to Thang Long. In this era, competitions were established to choose the smartest people in the country. Their names are written on stills. In 1527, the country is split into Mac and La dynasty. Both had wars until 1592 when La dynasty successfully took over Mac's capital to unify the country. A short time later, Nguyen Kim, the king of La dynasty died. The country was once again split into the La and Nguyen dynasty. In early 17th century, because there were still plenty of land under Nguyen dynasty, they decided to expand their territory into the south. In the late 17th century, the capital Thang Long of La dynasty, now known as Trinh, rose to be one of the biggest commercial cities in Asia. Meanwhile in the south, the 3 brothers Nguyen Nach, Nguyen Lu, Nguyen Hue got rid of the Nguyen dynasty. In 1786, they successfully invaded the Trinh dynasty, marking the beginning of Tay Son era. In 1788, the king, China, invaded Tay Son. The king lost the invasion in 1789. Nguyen Hue, known as Quang Trung, became the king. In 1792, he died. Nguyen An used that as an opportunity to end Tay Son dynasty. In 1802, Tay Son era ended, the Nguyen era began. Nguyen An became the king, moving the capital to Phu Xuan, now known as Hue. The country is renamed as Dai Nam. In 1858, France and Spain invaded Dai Nam near the capital unsuccessfully. From 1861 to 1884, France slowly managed to invade Dai Nam successfully. The domination of France in Vietnam went from 1884 to 1945. Tons of uprisings were seen in that time. Ba Din Uprising, from 1886 to 1887. Bai Say Uprising, 1883 to 1892. Hong Kee Uprising, 1885 to 1896. Yen Thi Uprising, 1884 to 1913. Dong Du Uprising, 1905–1909. In 1930, the Communist Party of Vietnam was born, led by Ho Chi Minh. In 1931, following the new Communist Party was a nationwide Soviet Nay Tin uprising. This was when the first two cities Nayan and Ha Tin got its independence. In 1940, Japan invaded Indochina. After Japan lost World War II in 1945, the Socialist Republic of Vietnam was founded by the leader Ho Chi Minh. The War of Full Indochina's independence from France went from 1945 to 1954. After important wars, such as the Autumn-Winter Campaign in 1947, the Autumn-Winter Campaign in 1950, and the final Dien Bien Phu Campaign in 1954, ending France colonization in Vietnam. In 1955, the country was split into two parts, North and South Vietnam. The North is Socialist Republic of Vietnam, led by Ho Chi Minh. The South is Republic of Vietnam, led by Ngo Dinh Diem. The Vietnam War started from 1955 to 1975, with Viet Cong, Pathet Lao, Khmer Rouge, China, Soviet Union and North Korea on North Vietnam's side, and United States, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, Kingdom of Laos, Kingdom of Cambodia, Thailand and Philippines on South Vietnam's side. Some important campaigns were 1968 Mao Then Campaign, 1973 Anti-Operation Linebacker II, or known as Dien Bien Phu Tren Cong Campaign. South Vietnam's side finally lost to North Vietnam's side in the 1975 Spring Offensive. The country was finally reunited. Vietnam joined United Nations in 1977. After that, the two wars with Khmer Rouge and China in 1979 were the last wars in Vietnam's history. In 1995, Vietnam joined the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN in short. And now, Vietnam is having potential to be one of the world's superpowers in the future.